Hello and welcome to the Ninqueso Exploring Japan channel, where I am on a journey to find out everything I can about Japan, the people, the culture, and today, part 2 of the Pokemon that are based on Yokai. Now, if you've not seen part 1, I will leave a little link up there somewhere, hopefully. Hopefully you can see it. I don't think it will matter if you don't watch them in order, but you know, give it a watch if you've not seen it. And we're about halfway through. We just finished on like the Licky Tongue and the, is it Licky Tongue? It's the evolutionary form. I really can't remember. So we've got another few Pokemon to get through. So let us not delay and find out which Pokemon, I'm going to put this in air quotes, are based on Yokai. Because let's just say in the last video I had my doubts about how definite they were actually based. So let us jump in and find out.
Celesteela. Okay, this Pokemon is definitely based on Kaguya Hime from the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter, which I did a video about. I feel like I've said that a lot. How many times has it been? Kaguya Hime was born from a bamboo stalk and she came from the moon. Celesteela kind of looks like a woman with long hair in a dress. Kind of. No, really, if you look closer, squint your eyes a little, and consume some shrooms, it looks exactly like...
Don't consume some shrooms. Just enjoy life.
A princess. Its arms look like bamboo.
That was the other thing about this video. I don't find his humour remotely funny, which is why I like put it off doing it for a week. But you know, we need to persevere.
Bamboo stalks, and overall it looks like a spaceship, and it can fly into space.
I don't really know this Pokemon. Is it from Sun and Moon?
Mawile. Mawile looks...
Yes, I believe this one is definitely based on that hair-eating thing, which is why the back of the head has got that mouth.
Sweet, but has a terrifying second mouth in the back that'll ruin your day. This one's based on Futakuchi Onna.
That doesn't look like Futakuchi Unna. That's how you'd say it. Unna. You might like that. I don't know. I might edit it out. That writing above the Romanji writing does not look like it should be that. Because you got the can. Okay. Let's break this down, because I can kind of understand it now. Now my kanji brain's kicked in, because that isn't katakana, is it? That's kanji. So you got the ni for 2. You got the kanji for mouth, which is the one in the middle. So 2 mouths. And I'm not sure what the... Yes, the one at the end is for woman. My God, my kanji recognition skills are on point today. So basically, that says 2-mouthed woman in kanji. I'm quite impressed in myself. Let me know in the comments if I'm totally wrong. And this is editing queso here. I have just noticed, or as well while editing this video, that futa means 2, kuchi is mouth, and onna is woman. So, yeah, there's that. But I feel quietly confident. I've just read 3 bits of kanji in a row, and it basically means 2-mouthed woman. Wow. Anyway, let's get back to the video. I'm just in shock.
Futakuchi Onna, or 2-mouthed woman. This yokai looks like a normal woman, but part her hair from the back and you reveal a second mouth. This mouth loves to eat, and she uses her hair like tentacles to grab food and shove it into that mouth.
There you go.
Frostlass. This Pokemon's body looks like a woman wearing a kimono. Frostlass lives in snowy mountains, and if she finds a handsome man, she would freeze him with her icy breath and take him home for her man collection, which is like a stamp collection. But
I mean, everyone needs a hobby, don't they, really?
But more socially acceptable. During snowstorms, she would also...
Again, I don't find his humour remotely funny. Hopefully you do, otherwise this video will be very bad, because my humour's not good.
Go around knocking on people's doors. Frostlass is clearly based on the Yuki Onna, or Snow Woman. A Yuki Onna looks like a beautiful woman with snow white skin.
I'm recognising the kanji for woman there as well.
She also lives in snowy mountains and targets travelers. She uses her breath to suck the life out of her victims and freeze them. She also breaks into houses to freeze the people within. Sliggoo and Gura. Alright, this may be questionable, not gonna lie.
Okay, we know this is going to be very, very doubtful if he's even admitting himself that it's questionable.
But they're probably based on Shusebora and Mizuchi. There are
Why?
these gigantic snail creatures called giant tritons. If they live long enough, like a few thousand years, they turn into these dragon-like yokai called Shusebora. That's
I'm not
Sliggoo,
sure.
a snail Pokemon.
I'm not
If a
sure.
Shusebora lives a few thousand more years, it turns into a Mizuchi, a type of Japanese dragon. Gudra may be based on the Mizuchi because it evolves from Sliggoo and it's a
Let me know down in the comments. Do you think it is? I've got my doubts.
dragon type Pokemon. What do you think? Sneasel and Weavile. These Pokemon are based on the Kamaitachi, or sickle weasel.
I've heard of these. These are the ones that like trip you over and then cut your leg off, but then one heals you and stitches it back on. Am I thinking of the right ones?
Are sharp-clawed, wind-surfing weasels with an attitude. They usually live in cold mountains and they like to surf on whirlwinds and cut you with their long claws as they pass by. They move so quickly that you can't see them. They were used to explain why people got little cuts and cracked skin in cold weather. Sneasel and Weavile both have sharp claws like the Kamaitachi.
Which is the one then where they travel in packs of 3, and if ever you like stumble or something, that's one of them cutting your leg off and then another one coming along and quickly sewing it back on. Which ones are they? Let me know if you know, because I know that was mentioned in one of the videos and I thought it was these, but you know, it could be wrong.
And Weavile's scratch can give you frostbite, a reference to the Kamaitachi living in cold weather. Shiftry and Nuzleaf. They're based on the popular
Now, Nuzleaf is based on Pikmin.
Tengu. The big old nose gave it away. Tengu
Really?
are usually drawn with long, knotty noses, though sometimes...
Do they have leaves on their head, and do they have leaf hands? Because if it's just the long nose, I'm going to be very suspicious, because I always thought Nuzleaf was kind of like a Pikmin, really.
They have beaks, too. They live high up in the mountains and usually dress in the outfit of a mountain ascetic monk.
You see, I don't see it. I don't see it. The only thing that's remotely similar is the long nose. The colour's different. The whole... I mean, that's carrying a hammer, for crying out loud. That's more like Tinkerton. Is it Tinkerton or Tinkertuff?
And have been known to kidnap children who venture too far into the mountains.
I'm not sure about this one.
If you look at Shiftry's feet, they look like the sandals that a Tengu wears. These are actually called Tengu Geta, or Tengu sandals. Now, Nuzleaf, the unevolved form of Shiftry, could also be a Kotengu or a less...
See, immediately he's just gone, they're definitely based on these. And then he just comes out with, they might be based on these. Oh. I need to stop doing these videos because both of the ones I've done now, they're so like, well, they might be based on these.
Sir Tengu. Kotengu are smaller and look more like
Can we
birds.
get one from the actual
36
Pokemon
more
company,
Pokemon to go. I better pick up the pace. Whiscash. This Pokemon can cause earthquakes. It's based on the Onamazu, or great catfish.
Okay,
this yokai
yeah, I can see that.
also causes earthquakes. People believed that they swim in underground caverns, and when they brush up against rock, it causes earthquakes. I also did a video about Onamazu and how it became a fighter for the poor.
He likes promoting his other videos, doesn't he? But mate, I ain't watching them.
Executor. This cute Pokemon is based on the horrifying Jinmenju, or human face tree. Perfect name. This tree has flowers that look like human faces. They even have fruit that look like faces. The faces can't talk, but they can smile and laugh. If you ever want to pick up one of these face flowers as a gift for your girlfriend and end that relationship, but they're too high, there's one easy way to do it. You just gotta laugh at them and they'll laugh back. If they laugh hard enough, they may just break off and fall into your hands. Mischievous. So this Pokemon flies around looking like a disembodied head.
No, because it's got like, it flies around looking like a ghost. It's got the fluffy body bit as well. It's not just a head.
It's maybe based on the Nukekubi. The idea is that a woman may catch...
I'm gonna go out there and say no.
A curse where at night her head would float right off her body and fly around sucking people's blood. She can also bite you until you die, so she's not all bad.
I don't think that's based on that at all.
This Pokemon visits dying people and absorbs their spirit to feel its flame. Okay, this is a stretch, but Lampent may be...
Oh my god. This is a stretch. He's obviously gone, right, I'm going to do a video, 99 Pokemon based on Yokai. Oh my god, I'm only at 60. We need to make some stuff up.
Partially based on Hitorama, which are human souls that float about after they die. They like to
'Cause
hang
it's a
around
ghost
places of
Pokemon?
death, like graveyards and funeral houses. They don't attack you, so they're pretty harmless. Greninja. Greninja is basically a frog ninja, right? The inspiration for this Pokemon comes from an old story called The Tale of the Gallant Jiraiya. I
Is
did
he
a
a
video
frog
about
ninja?
it. Naruto actually borrows a lot from this story, including the character of Jiraiya.
Can you stop promoting your videos? I ain't going to watch them. Really? He does not look like a
In the
frog?
old story, Jiraiya learns toad magic and even rides on a giant toad. Combined
Greninja does not ride on a giant toad.
frogs and toads with Naruto, and you get a frog ninja. Greninja. Ghastly. Ghastly is this floating head thing.
Yeah, so that's based on that one where you said the woman's head that floated around, surely, because that's more of a head than Mischievous, that obviously has that body bit as well.
Thing surrounded by gas. A long time ago, there was this monk named Sogeng who stole money from his temple all his life. After he died because of his crimes, he became a floating head surrounded not by gas, but by flames. This yokai is called Sogengbi, and it's what Ghastly is based on.
Is it?
Brillish and Jellicent.
Like,
They're
nothing
based on
you
this
say, mate,
jellyfish
is really
yokai
like
called Kurage no
hitting
Hinotama.
home anymore.
It glows and it floats in the air. It's more of a ball of light shaped like a jellyfish. One story tells of a samurai who saw one while he was walking at night. When he tried to cut it with his sword, it went right through the thing. Then the floating jellyfish squirted this sticky red liquid at his face and clothes. The liquid didn't seem to cause any harm, but it did ruin his washing machine. Slowbro and
Let me know down in the comments if you find his humour amazing.
Slow King. They're
Or is
partially
it just
based on
me?
the Sazae Oni. There's a small type of snail called a turban snail, and it's thought that when a turban snail reaches a certain age, it becomes a Sazae Oni. They live in the sea and pretend to be sexy women drowning. When men rescue them and pull them up onto the boat, the Sazae Oni would attack. There's one story where a
And in what world is Slowpoke based on that? It's like he dips his tail in water and a shelter clamps down on it, which is how he evolves. In what world is that anything like a snail that if it lives old enough, it changes?
pirates rescued this drowning woman. They wanted to have their way with her, but she was actually willing, so she slept with all of the pirates.
In the future, I'm just going to do videos on actual yokai. I'm not going to like do the Pokemon yokai videos because they make me angry.
Pirates. However, after she was finished, she detached all of their balls. When the pirates realized what she did, it probably didn't take them long, she turned back into a monster and said she would give them back their balls in exchange for the gold they had stolen. The pirates got testes at this demand, but agreed to the trade, and the Sazae Oni ran off
Not
with
even
the
like
gold.
even
The
a
ending
chuckle,
is a play
just
on
like,
words, because one way to say testicles in Japanese is kintama, which literally means golden balls. So the Sazae Oni traded golden balls for gold. Slowbro and Slowking both have shells attached to them. Slowking also wears it like a cool turban, which we see in pictures of Sazae Oni. Darumaka and Darmanitan. These Pokemon are based on Daruma dolls, which themselves were made to look like Bodhidharma, the monk popularly credited with founding Zen
Maybe.
Buddhism. These dolls are toys, but are
Who
also
knows?
good luck charms. Darumaka
Just stop
and
pausing it,
Darmanitan
Ninqueso.
just look a
Get
lot
to the end
like
of the
Daruma
video, we
dolls.
can never have to watch it
Darmanitan
again.
can even enter Zen mode, where he looks exactly like a Daruma doll. Zigzagoon. By appearance alone, Zigzagoon looks like the popular Tanuki, or a Japanese raccoon
Does
dog.
it really though? Does it really look like the Tanuki there, with its like lightning spiky fur alternating in band patterns? I'm not so sure.
I have a video about them. They're tricksy little buggers, and they're not afraid to shapeshift to fool you. Zigzagoon also drums its belly, a thing that the Tanuki also does. Celebi, Phantump, and Trevenant. These Pokemon are based on the Kodama, which are spirits of the forest that hang around trees, tending to them. You rarely see them, but they're usually drawn as orbs of light. The movie Princess Mononoke draws them looking like this. Kodama can also refer to the trees that these spirits live in.
Oh,
They're linked.
dear.
If a tree
How many more
dies,
have we
the
got to
spirits
get
that
through?
make the tree its home die too.
How many more have we
Celebi
got
and
to get
Phantump
through?
are Pokemon of the forest, and they have spirit bodies, like Kodama. Trevenant is based on the actual trees that Kodama are linked with. Gligar and Gliscor. These guys look like a cross between a bat and a lobster or something, because they have lobster claws. Well, they look a lot like these yokai called Amikiri, who also look crustacean. They fly through the air, keeping an eye out for
No wings
nets,
on the
because their favorite
Amikiri
thing
there.
to do is to use their two claws to cut nets. Fishing nets, mosquito nets, any kind of nets. They love it. Ponyta and Rapidash. They look like horses with fire manes and fire tails.
Yes, they do.
They're based on the Kirin. This creature looks like a horse or deer or a giraffe and has holy flames
Surely it should look like a horse if the horse Pokemon are based on it.
covering its mane and body. It has a big horn or
Oh,
antlers that curve backwards.
side
Its
up.
head
What
looks
do
like a
you think
dragon's
about this
head.
video?
The Kirin is one of the most sacred beasts. It's a
Can we
symbol of
stand you
purity
there?
and goodness, and it never hurts any living thing. Even its footsteps are so light that it can walk on grass without crushing it, and walk on water without sinking.
Should have had side up there the whole
Suicune
time.
is also based on the Kirin because it has big antlers that curve backwards. It can walk on water, and it can purify the water it touches.
So a fire Pokemon is based on this one, the Killian, and so is this water Pokemon that is a dog, not a horse, deer, giraffe.
Bronzor and Bronzong. Bronzor is based on the bronze mirror called the Dokyo, and Bronzong
Fair
is based
enough.
on the bronze bell.
There
called
you
the
go.
Dotaku.
I will
Way
give
back
you
in
that
ancient
one.
Japan, they
I will
loved
give you that
these
one.
things because they came from China, which
They
was
do
the most
look like
powerful
them.
country in the area. The Japanese used the bronze items in a lot of rituals. The fact that Bronzor evolves into Bronzong may be a reference to an old story, Kartana. This Pokemon looks like an origami figure. It may be based on Shikigami. It was thought that Shinto ritualists could summon spirit servants that they control, called Shikigami. These servants could take any form, like ghosts or demons, but the most common are pieces of paper imbued with the summoned spirits. Snowrunt. Snowrunt is a triangle that lives in cold, snowy
It does.
environments.
What's
on looks
it
alone,
loosely
you can
based
tell
on?
that he is based on the Yukiwarashi, or
Okay,
snow
looks a
child.
bit like
These are
it, I'll
children
give it
made
that.
out of snow. One story goes, there was an old childless couple who made snow into the shape of a little boy. Magically, the boy came to life, and they spent the entire winter happily taking care
And
of their
then he
little
melted.
son. But as the winter neared its end, the boy got thinner and thinner until he vanished altogether, and the couple was left childless again. Absol. Absol may be based on the Hakutaku, which looks like a white ox, and it's usually drawn with 9 eyes and 6 horns. But
Yeah, because Absol has 9 eyes and 6 horns. Definitely. It doesn't just have that one horn coming off and then 2 horns.
those numbers vary. Sometimes it has less eyes and 1 horn on its head. It's very smart. Legend says that a Chinese emperor once met a Hakutaku, and it taught him that there were 11,520 different types of supernatural creatures in the world,
Okay.
and taught him what they looked like and their behaviors. Another story tells of the Hakutaku warning a village of an imminent plague. So the Absol is probably based on the Hakutaku because it's
Probably,
white,
you see.
has 1 horn, it's
I want
smart, and it warns
definite.
people of coming disasters. Magmar, Torchic, Combuskin, Blaziken.
Okay, this is just going to be some sort of fire bird, isn't it? Some fire chicken. And I don't know why Magnar's been lumped into that, because that's not a chicken. It's got like a duck's bill.
They all look like chickens that play around
No, Magmar does not look like a chicken. It's got a duck's bill. It does not look like a chicken.
with fire. They're based on the Basan. It's a bird that looks like a chicken and breathes fire. They roam around at night looking for bonfires that have recently burnt out so they could eat the burning wood. That's their food, burnt and burning wood. Miss Magius. Some people claim Miss Magius is based on Nasubaba, but I think they're basing that on color alone. Don't know if I buy it, but I'll include it just in case you bastards complain in the comments. Nasubaba is a
Language.
spirit that haunts the area around the famous temple Enryakuji. Her skin is all purple and she
So he's including stuff in here that even he don't believe. That's ridiculous. Why couldn't you have just done, I don't know, 50 Pokemon based on it?
looks like an ugly, scary old woman. Despite her looks, she actually seems good and is supposed to warn the temple of disasters. Regigigas. This big guy may be based on the Daidara Bochi, purely because of Regimis's size and the fact that it can change the landscape, like stopping glaciers. The Daidarabochi are huge yokai.
Yeah,
that
he's
can
grabbing
move
at straws
mountains and
now,
create
isn't he, for the
lakes and
last few.
valleys from their footprints. They say a Daidarabochi created Mount Fuji when it took the dirt around the area and put it into a huge dirt pile, then placed tourism signs everywhere. Giratina and Centiscorch. They're based
They're nothing alike. One's a fire centipede, one's a giant dragon ghost.
on the Omukade, or giant centipede.
No.
They're super venomous and they can eat people
Guaranteed
because
is
they're that
not
big.
based on that.
Takataka.
What about when it's in its other form and it doesn't have legs?
This is speculative, but this
What
Pokemon may be
Pokemon's
inspired
that?
by Moku Mokure,
I even
which
recognise
are
that
paper
one.
doors
It's gotta be a
that
Sun
have
and Moon
eyes
one.
on them. So over time, paper doors can accumulate holes, and the idea
I need
is
to
that if
finish
you
playing
leave
some.
doors like that for too
playing
long,
Ultra
the
Moon.
holes become
Or
eyes.
start playing it.
Stakataka also has eyes on all of its stone bricks.
There
All right,
you
we're almost
go.
done. Let's end with some big ones. The three forces of nature are legendary Pokemon, so they gotta be based on really important figures. Landorus is the guardian of the fields. Its tail can inject nutrition into the soil and cause crops to
ground
grow
one?
like crazy. Landorus is based on the kami Inari, who is an important god. Inari is the god of a lot of
Kami? Not a yokai? Just saying.
things like tea, rice, and sake, but is also the god of fertility and agriculture. Tornadus controls the wind and can cause hurricanes and huge storms. He's based on the kami Fujin, who's the god
Kami? Not yokai? Just saying. He's got to the end of the video, realised he's 3 short, and he's just like, no one's going to be watching or paying attention by now. Let's just add some Kami in as well.
of the wind. He carries a wind bag that he uses to direct the wind. When he opens it, huge gusts of wind escape from the bag.
I mean, yeah,
And
these are obviously
Thunderous
based on
shoots lightning
these,
from
but
his
they
tail.
are,
He's based on
are
Raijin, the
Kami
god of
and
thunder and
yokai
lightning.
the same thing?
Fujin and Raijin
I didn't
are
think
BFFs,
they were.
so they're often shown together. Well, there you go.
Thanks. Thanks, you weird peanut person. But anyway, if you did enjoy their video, that was from Linfamy. Go over to their video. I will leave a link down in the description and you can pop a like there. I'm tempted to hit that unlike, but you know, I won't. Not on camera. But if you did like my video, please make sure you go down and hit that like button because it does help the channel grow and get out there and shown to more people. And if you could leave a comment too, that is like another way that really helps the channel out. And if you don't know what to put, just put Pokemon. You know, I'll understand what you mean. Just put P, Poke, E, or Mon. Any combination of any letters, it's all good. And if you would like to see more of my journey to discover everything I can Japanese, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. But until next time, just be nice to people. Bye.